Hi, Professor Barati here. I'd like to go over the allocation method known as the direct method, which is the method of allocating overhead costs from service departments into production departments. So, in a corporation or in our business, the production departments will utilize service departments such as human resources, accounting, engineering, and marketing and so on. And many companies allocate those department costs to the production departments. And those costs will be considered overhead. They do get absorbed and end up in pricing in the cost of the unit. So I put together a quick spreadsheet that I think might help you. I think half the battle of doing this problem correctly is simply organizing your information in an orderly manner so that you can allocate properly. The allocation itself is the easier part. The hard part is dissecting the information in the problem and organizing it. I think the book, and the lecture notes don't do a very good job of this. So I think half the battle is either coming up with a spreadsheet that works for you, or perhaps you can use this. So in this example here, we have two service departments, S1 and S2, and their department costs are $12,000 and $10,000. The production departments, we'll call P1 and P2, have department costs of $800,000 and $600,000. In a direct method, the service departments, even though they use each other's services, so it's obviously a human resource department is going to use IT services and accounting services. In a direct method, we do not allocate service department costs to other service departments. There's no allocation there. The point in the direct method is to directly allocate each service department to a production department based on an allocation method that's arbitrary. So in this direct method, service department 1, 40% of the production one's 40% of service department's costs are used by production 1 department. 60% of S1's costs are used by production 2 department. Production 1 uses 75% of service department, and production 2 uses 25% of service department. So all we're going to do is, as you can see the formula here, we are going to allocate 40% of service department's costs to production and 60% of service department 1's costs to production. So 4,800 is essentially the 12,000 times the 40%, and the 7,200 is the same 12,000 times the 60%. The P2 department is allocated to P1 based on 60% of 10,000, and P2's department allocates 25% of its 10,000 costs to P2. These costs should add up in total to the costs we're allocating. If P1 in this matrix equals S1's total cost, you know you've allocated correctly. So if we look at our problem that is in the homework, United Versity Printer, this has two service departments, maintenance and personnel, which I've set up here. Maintenance and personnel, I call it M&P. And two operating departments, printing and developing, which I call P&D. Management has decided to allocate maintenance costs on the basis of machine hours. So the maintenance department here will be allocated based on machine hours. And personnel costs on the basis of labor hours. So I've put them in the matrix. Production department P uses 2,000 machine hours and D uses 4,000 for a total of 6,000. Labor hours for production department P uses 600 and the production department D uses 2,600 for 3,200. They give us the cost of each department right here across 3,600, 13,600, 14,800, and 12,600, which I've put here under my headings as department costs. The point is we're going to allocate Department M's total costs to the production department P&D based on machine hours. So total machine hours used by production departments was 6,000, of which, so machine hours are 2,000 over the 6,000, which is a third. So what I did was I simply took the 3,600 of department costs. I took F25, which is the 2,000, divided by the total, and multiplied it by the cost. Then I took the 2,400, I took the 4,000 divided by 6,000 times the same amount, 3,600. So as you can see, they're equal. On the labor side, production department P used 600 labor hours. Production department D used 2,600 labor hours for a total of 3,200. So to allocate the 13,600, I simply took labor hours for that department used divided by total to get the percent allocation times the 13,600. Same here, I took the $2,600 labor hour divided by total to get my ratio or my fraction times the 13,600. As you can see, these two now equal that, therefore I allocated correctly. So that's basically how you would approach a direct method. I apologize here, I have step method here. So it's really the direct method. And I'm going to save this and I will send this to you and you can use this as your matrix or come up with something that works for you. Thanks for watching.